It all started the day before, when Matthias learned that his brother had gone to a Mayan temple with his girlfriend a few days earlier. Worried, Matthias decided to go meet up with them. The moment he mentioned a Mayan ruin, everyone else was instantly intrigued, and they chose to tag along. Early the next morning, they managed to find a local taxi, but the driver's attitude changed the second he heard their destination was that abandoned temple. He flat out refused to go. Dmitri then made him an offer he couldn't turn down. Even so, the driver would only take them as far as a roadside several miles away. The rest of the journey, they'd have to make on foot. From there, the group headed deeper into the jungle. Before long, they came across a narrow, hidden path. It was the only route leading to the Mayan temple. Strangely, someone had deliberately blocked it off, but at the time, no one thought much of it. Once they passed through the narrow trail, a mysterious, ancient Mayan temple stood right in front of their eyes. At that moment, a local man suddenly rushed over. He looked panicked and started shouting something at them, but they couldn't understand a word he was saying. Soon, two more locals arrived. As this was happening, Amy, who loved taking photos, slowly stepped backward and ended up standing on a vine. That single move made the man leading the locals even more agitated. He suddenly pulled out a gun. Dmitri assumed photography wasn't allowed and tried to hand over the camera, but the moment his foot touched the vine, the three locals began yelling even louder. Still confused, Dmitri held the camera and slowly stepped forward. That's when an arrow shot straight into him. Seconds later, a gunshot finished him off with a bullet to the head. The sudden violence sent everyone into a panic, and they had no choice but to flee up the temple. At the top of the temple, they found two tents. They were clearly set up by Matthias's brother and his girlfriend, yet neither of them was anywhere to be seen. Eric tried to pull out his phone to call for help, only to realize there was no signal at all. Then Matthias spotted a familiar shape wrapped tightly in vines. A terrible feeling hit him instantly. He pushed the vines aside and confirmed his worst fear. It was his brother's body. Matthias was devastated. Meanwhile, Jeff used his binoculars and saw more and more locals gathering below. Some of them were even setting up tents at the base of the temple. It was clear they planned to trap them up there. With barely any food or water, there was no way they could last more than a few days. All they could do now was hope someone would notice they were missing and call the police. Just then, a phone suddenly started ringing behind them. They followed the sound and realized it was coming from a well. Matthias decided to climb down and retrieve the phone, but halfway down, the rope suddenly snapped, sending him crashing to the bottom. Thankfully, they could still hear faint cries for help. Jeff and Eric quickly decided to send Stacy down since she was the lightest. However, part of the rope had broken off, leaving it too short. When Stacy jumped down, she injured her leg on impact. Matthias was in even worse shape. The injuries to his leg and back left him completely unable to move. In desperation, Amy tried to ask the locals for help, but it was obvious they had no intention of helping and gestured for them to back away. Furious, Amy grabbed a vine and hurled it at them. It struck a young boy by accident. Instantly, the locals panicked and pointed their weapons at the child. They began forcing him toward the temple. When the boy refused to move,